How do you think Brodie Croft looked today?
Thought he looked like Brodie Croft, but in a better coloured jersey.
Leeds have won back-to-back Rugby League titles. The golden generation finally has its golden fleece. No England game, it seems, is complete without a Ryan Hall try. Jamie Peacock.
Kevin Sinfield.
Rob Burrow.
Danny McGuire.
Jamie Jones Buchanan for Leeds.
It's one of the most popular beards in rugby league.
There aren't many in Super League that can do that.
We just want to be a great friend, and if we can all try and be a bit of a better friend from time to time, I think we have a bit of a better place to live in.
The Lot Pod is kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. Fast Signs are an established family-run business who've been providing businesses around Leeds and West Yorkshire with effective signs and graphics for almost 30 years. Fast Signs are passionate about helping customers make a statement with signs that are eye-catching, effective and delivered fast. Hi everyone, welcome to the Lot Pod, the Leeds Rhinos Lot 17-8 podcast, kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. I'd like to thank Fast Signs for their continued support of the podcast. That's Fast Signs, in case Reece misses it again. Fast Signs, am I joking? Well, this is the match review panel for WrestleMania, which is this weekend as Roman Reigns takes on Cody Rhodes.
It wasn't WrestleMania, it was the Warriors versus South.
Or the Warriors versus South, or last night's Emmerdale. We'll choose which one we want to review. I don't know if Emmerdale was on last night, Coronation Street, something like that. Joining me as always, my right-hand man, my co-host, but our amazing Statsman, Statman Reece, how are you?
If you're asking me about sport, it's not really been a great weekend.
What else do you want to talk about?
Well, ideally not this, but...
Kate Middleton, what did you think of that?
Conspiracy
theory corner. Chris!
What I will say is it's nice to be sat next to you again, Eddie.
It is, the band are back together.
We're band are back
It's
together.
been absolutely lovely.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Chris is in as well, you'll see him later on.
We've both had holidays, and we've
had some rest, and we've come back for a real shit show.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly timed. Do you want to talk about the post office? That one.
And you know what? A question just comes straight to my head, and it is actually about last night. Did you wear that rugby shirt?
I did.
For context, everyone, he said to us, I've worn this shirt twice this year. When I've worn it, we've lost.
Yeah.
And we had a discussion about whether we should wear it again.
I wore it.
And we said you should give it one more shot.
And I did.
I really regret giving you that answer.
It's my fault anyway.
Yeah, don't wear it again.
That's absolutely... No, just... Sam's here, by the way.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Sam. It was Chris's idea. He said to me and you... At the start of the year, he said he chooses one Rhino shirt
for the home games
that he wears for the whole year.
Yeah,
and I was like, I never mentioned it, but I was like, I really like that idea. So I've worn the same shirt.
I've done the same.
Have you done exactly the same?
Yeah, but I'm not doing it anymore though.
And I'm done now. I'm not going to wear it ever again.
And the best thing is, Chris hasn't got a mic in the other room behind that wall, so he can't tell us off.
Yeah, we're blaming Chris instead of me. Do you want to talk about Heartbeat? Remember that?
I think we should probably say Sam's here. That's what
Sam's here, yeah. Welcome along. Welcome back, Sam.
Thanks.
Sam's with us.
Back to review another poor performance.
But we'll blame Sam.
Yeah, there we go.
Sam.
We'll blame
it's
Sam.
usually Duncan.
Yeah,
it's usually Duncan.
Yeah, Duncan or Mark, isn't it normally?
To bring on to the reviews. No, this is the match review panel, unfortunately, for Leeds versus Warrington. Lot pod style positives. Reece, any positives from this one? I do have 4 or 5 written down.
It's not really a positive, but I think we should also state that this is the first therapy session of the year.
Good point. I did have that written down.
Yeah. See, I can read your notes upside down. It is
to be that in itself is a is a magic power because my writing is appalling. Carry on.
So yeah, it's the first therapy session of the year. That isn't a positive, but yeah,
we're all here
settle
together.
Down. Let's all get in.
A nice glass.
Let's do the
something really strong.
Breathe in, breathe out methods, sort of thing. And
will the Rhinos do it?
You both actually breathed in then. Positives. Ned McCormack debut, I think for me it's great to see Ned get his first team debut. I'm actually a little bit surprised. I thought Fergus would have been the first of the two brothers to
We did
potentially
say
make
that,
his
didn't we,
debut.
earlier in the year when
Yeah,
kind of
but
both
really
came on the
pleased to see
scene.
Ned making his debut. I actually was with some of his family members and also all the rugby staff from my old school because I bumped into them all at the game. Did you know there's a third McCormack brother?
I'm pretty sure Robert's told us that.
Yeah, apparently he's the most talented.
One.
He's the most
they
talented
always say
one.
that, don't they?
But
every time there's a player, they go, "Do you know there's a young
But he doesn't
one?"
play rugby league.
That was my
He's
next
still in
question.
union.
Is he league or
he's
union?
at the Man United Academy, apparently.
Oh.
Why did you bring that up?
I don't know. I just thought I'd deflect.
Jesus Christ, I've been away. We have been together for a couple of weeks, and he starts talking about scum.
I'm bringing back into the positives. The other positive I had was I always really enjoy the inclusivity round, especially when the learning disability team
I love that.
play at half time, the reception they get from the South Stand, how much they love it. I think it's a really big part of the club. And also, I don't know if you saw some of the learning disability team. I think Mitch Woodham is one of them. He was doing the interviews with the players after the game. So
unbelievable, Mitch.
that is a positive. Just
Absolutely
in general,
smashed it. I've got, before we go to Sam, Cormac debut, the fact Newman played, because that was a bit up in the air, so I thought that was a positive to see that he played. I've got Oledsky and Frawley's kick and to Newman and cross kick to Roberts. Do you have any positives, Sam?
I had two. You've just taken one of them, which was the Frawley putting in decent kicks. Because last time I was on, I said I've not seen him do it yet, even though that's what he's meant to be offering. So, two last night.
Two in general play. Let's not talk about touch finders.
Yeah, two in general play. But it's better than nothing, isn't it? It's better than nothing. And the other one was marginally better than the Saints' performance the other week. And that was scraping the barrel. So that's all.
Do you think it was?
I thought it was.
All right.
Yeah, I agree, because they were, like you said, off. The best stuff, everyone, is off mic. We should record it. From the moment we walk in here, we should start recording.
We should do, yeah.
Sam said earlier that from even 24 minutes to go, 24 seconds to go, I still felt like we were going to win.
Yeah.
I feel like you didn't. You weren't as positive as me and Sam.
No, if Momorowski's tried being given, I think again, the flow of the game was going going towards us, I thought, and I thought if that momentum we could have continued it, but then just after that the stung just went out, I think, and I was a bit concerned about the backbone of the side because we particularly folded in that last 20 minutes.
It's all what ifs maybes.
It is a lot. There's so many what ifs maybes. And look, I know there's.
But that's what we do. That's what this podcast is.
Yeah, exactly.
If that had happened,
you know, you talk about. We talked about it off air, but the Hanley. If Hanley goes in and scores in that corner. Yeah. Or we score off that set because he shouldn't have been put in touch, it could have been a different game. But on the performance I still saw, I'm not sure I can really say that being positive that we would have won, because I didn't really see a lot from us last night. We've drifted away from the positives quite quickly.
We have, yeah. That's the end of the positive. I do feel like, and I agree with Rowan, what he said after the game, where he said we were chasing the game a lot, so that it was a blowout. But I felt that was because we were offering too much. We were chasing it, and they creating gaps. I mean, Croft with the beautiful ball. Who were that to? Was it to Thewlis, who went straight through?
Thewlis or Wrench, one
of them. Yeah, who cares? That kind of play. I felt that were more desperation. Did you feel the same? That, or did you agree that with the scoreline? Did you think, Sam, we were shite? I know it was shite. But I felt the scoreline, because we're chasing the game, kind of inflated. That might just be me.
No, it was definitely part of it. And that Croft interception, by the way, I think he'd just given an horrible pass to Ackers, and then he made this really good run round, and you could see what he was trying to do. Yeah. In fairness, it didn't quite pull it off. If that pass ends up being like the Cam Smith pass from the Catalans game, people are lauding it. But, it's... To be fair, good half-back play, saw the winger in space. Yeah. Just because it was a fucking Leeds player, just picked him out perfectly.
And if we're talking about half-back play...
Half-back packs.
And desperation. Sam Lasone thinking he was wearing a number 6 at one point.
He drove me mad yesterday.
Last night. I couldn't.
He really did.
He ebbed and flowed between great carries and then just shocking in defence, and then great carries, and then I'm an halfback all of a sudden. And but then I think that moment when Sam did make that pass was probably what you put the nail on the head there, was that desperation, trying to make things happen, and then the points just stacked against us.
I'm starting to feel Sam Lasone is in the Conrad Hurrell mould for me, in that Hurrell did loads of good stuff, but then followed it up with loads of crap. It was almost like one or the other. He'd kind of drive me mad. And last night, Lasone did did similar.
I think Lasona was trying to make up for mistakes a bit.
Yeah,
as well.
But with that desperation play
and desperation. So,
and the fact we only had 2 subs.
Yeah, I think he knew he had to do more work.
Yeah,
because there were nobody else, and he will have just. Well, we saw it with KR as well. Actually, when he's tired, and if he's having to play more minutes than he wants to, he's not as effective, and he actually looks quite poor as well. So
he is an impact player.
Yeah.
He's an impact. In his the way he plays, in his physique, he is impact 101. Stats. Now, before we jump into the stats, people may have been like, where was Statman Reese's jingle? It's because we have this new one from, not Jingle Josh, that's doing him, I heard you talk to him on the midweek.
You like Jingle Josh?
I love Jingle Josh.
Yeah, but he liked it.
Did he?
Yeah, he said it was alright.
Yeah, but he kind of said, I've worked in the music industry for
10, 12 years, I think it was, yeah.
We can't call him Jingle Josh. Mixmaster Josh.
Mixmaster Josh.
Mixmaster Josh has put this new jingle together for Statman Reese. Take a listen.
Here's a guy who's got a mouth like a snare and a voice like a cat trapped in one. It's Statman Reese. You are listening to Stat and Race with Stats Corner. Stats Corner. Stats Corner. You're listening to Stats Corner. You're listening to Stats Corner.
Stats time, Reese.
Fantastic. Well, firstly, thanks for that, Josh, because unfortunately it goes a bit downhill from that jingle.
Deep in, take a breath, everyone. And out, breathe together.
So,
my arms.
Let's go.
First of all...
Oh, go on. You're trying to delay this, aren't you?
Is it working? Give us are these some of the worst, or...
I'm going to go through the team stats first, and this is how the team stats compare with our other performances this season.
Yeah.
Right. Tries conceded 6, most this season in one game. 44% possession was the lowest amount we've had in a game this season.
44% possession.
36 missed tackles is the joint highest this season. 1,426 metres is the most metres we've conceded in a game this year. It was the lowest amount of tackle busts we'd made, which is 18. It was the lowest amount of completed sets with 22. It was the lowest set completion rate with 66%.
Please stop.
We're
already dead.
It's still going.
It was the lowest amount of plays in the opposition 20 metres with only 12. God. And it was the most errors we'd made in a game this year, which was 15.
Apart from that, you're all right then.
So only about 8 stabs to the heart there.
That's last year's stuff, that.
Yeah.
Did you agree with that? That's...
To be honest with you, I've only just done that now, and I'm there going, that just sums up the whole night in terms of...
I think it's made it worse.
I think for me, you think about it, yeah, we barely had the ball, we conceded those tries, we weren't completing sets, we were making stupid errors, and from the the meters made, we could clearly see that they were making far more meters than we were. So I think we always say that stats don't tell a game. I think that really is a really good summary from the team performance.
Obviously, I didn't know any of them prior to coming on this. I switched off last night. I was doomed to lose because I'm a sore loser and I can't stand it. So I just switch off and I go home and I go to bed. But that's kind of put a spotlight on it. I didn't feel... I think that's made it worse.
I thought we still had a chance with around 20 minutes to go.
I agree, I absolutely did. I always do, but...
Yeah, I didn't realise it was that bad. I knew it was bad, but I didn't think it was quite that bad.
So you are Statman Reese, you are a Statman. Do you think that... Because sometimes we say, stats don't tell the game.
I think that's a really accurate reflection of the game.
Do you think that's accurate?
As a whole of the 80 minutes, I thought that was the worst performance of our season so far.
I know.
And obviously, I don't have stats for the Challenge Cup game, so it's hard to compare that performance to that from that basis.
Unless we're in it.
But if we're talking Super League, it felt like it was the worst performance of the season, and a number of the stats are the worst we've had this season. So for me, it matches up.
Do you think we were out enthused, Sam?
Possibly. We tried creating things last... when it were gone, basically. Yeah. That's the only time we really looked like we were trying to create things. But I think as soon as they realised that even without their 3 forwards out, that they could still, get a roll on us.
Do you think they figured us out pretty quickly?
Yeah, most teams do, though. It's not a new thing, that is it?
So do we need a plan B? Plan C?
Yeah.
Plan D? Or all of the above?
All of them, yeah. But a plan B would be lovely because, my main frustration at the moment is with the slow play of the ball stuff. And I tweeted it yesterday, it's as soon as we can't play the way we want to, we just go, but the ref ain't giving us penalties. We're not being allowed to play the way we want to.
We need to adapt.
The point of having an opposition against you is they'll try to stop you playing the way that you want to.
Yeah.
And if it happens, you've got to have another option, but we don't.
So do you agree with that? And do you think
I've got another issue.
Go for it.
Just deleted all my team stats by accident.
Just delete it. Go back.
I can't. It's
not an auto-save, is it?
Yeah, it's an auto-save. I can't do it. I've just deleted all the team stats for the entire season.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Marshall record.
Tell you what, this weekend's getting worse for you.
Oh my God.
I was looking to see how the meter conceded compares to the rest of the league, and I just deleted. Yeah, look, it's all just gone. Like,
that's another issue. It's going to be working on now.
Sorry, Harry, but what were you saying, Tom? Because for the last 5 seconds,
he's just been flapping in the corner. We're just dissecting the game. Going, we're pretty shit, aren't we?
Just gonna,
Reese is over here. Laptop's on fire.
Just going to close that.
Pissing on laptop. Oh my God. We were saying.
That's actually quite emotional. I spent a lot of it.
You can get that back.
Oh yeah, when I put it all back in again. Anyway, come on.
Yeah, that's another
positives. I can't see the stats anymore, so that's good.
No,
nice. I can see the player stats.
I asked Sam whilst you were over there flapping. What did I ask you? We have a plan A. Teams figure us out easily.
Yeah.
We don't have a plan B, plan C, plan D. And Sam was saying we need to adapt. We need to change. It's like when they hold us down, and we say, hang on a minute. Well,
yeah. So I think. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree with that, and I think we're a really easy team to work out how to play against, which is because we give it would appear because of our passive defence or whatever you want to call it, how we do defend. They have all the time in the world on the ball to decide what to do. I mean, their halfbacks had so much time to decide what to do
as well, right?
Same height as Burrow.
Really?
Yeah, Hayes, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, those two had all the time in the world on the ball. So in terms of how we play, in terms of teams working us out, they know they're going to have time on the ball, so all they have to focus on is making sure that we don't get quick rug speed. And that's it. And Warrington, every time, if you looked, it was 3 or 4 players on a tackle, and because it was 3 or 4 players on a tackle, it took a while for our players to get up, which meant that it slowed the ruck speed down. And you can moan about us shouting offside every 2 minutes or them being offside, but Warrington played us perfectly in that they just frustrated us at a ruck, slowed us down massively, and then we played into their hands as we tend to do, which is, you've got the ball, you've got some time now, work out what you'd like to do with it. This is our defence. Have some fun. So
the video sessions for opposition fans on Leeds must just be, they won't even watch anything. They'll just say, they don't adapt, they don't change, they play this one style, and this is how you beat it.
Yeah, pretty much. I think one of the biggest mistakes Rowan's made is actually being so vocal about his frustrations about the play of the ball, and he's stopped doing it now because people were making a thing of it, but he did it last season, he did it at the start of this, and I think teams just know, they don't like that, let's do it, because refs don't penalise it.
If anything, it's going to hurt the refs.
Yeah, so
if I were a ref, which I'd never be because it's an absolutely incredibly hard job, and he were going, he's waiting on, I'd be like, this guy's doing my head in. Yeah. Why would I?
Yeah, but
I know they're all neutral.
But you're quite vindictive, so if someone has said to you...
And petty.
Yeah, you're really petty. So if someone goes to you, you're not refereeing the ruck properly, and you go, well, I'll show you this, Sean. I'll show you how to referee. yeah, exactly.
Penalty to Leeds.
Yeah, but yeah, I just don't... I don't see what our plan B is. And there's moments...
Really impressed with that ref whistle, by the way.
And there's moments in time...
Thank you.
Come on, we're trying to do a podcast here. There's moments in time where we upped the...
What the hell do you want to talk about?
There's moments in time when we upped the energy for like a couple of seconds and then it was like, but why can't we have that line speed all the time?
Yeah. Off the back of the hit of...
When Lasone nailed through us.
Whoever that was. We had urgent... I don't know if you're in the South Stand, but the South Stand were behind that whole set, and that urgency were there. We're like...
Yeah.
Why can't we do that for 80 minutes?
Yeah. Because line speed drives me nuts.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts, and I know it's like people say it's a conserving energy tactic for the last 20 minutes. That's mental.
It's not just the last 20 minutes, though, is it?
It's mental.
It's a Rowan tactic, and it's just another thing people are getting very bored of.
You've got loads of energy, but you're 20 points down.
Yeah.
And I think that tactic works
point?
well when
you're winning.
But we've also credited our goal line defence quite often this year.
Yes, we have.
But then last night, you can. I think that passive defence can, if you're confident in your ability to defend your line and do it all the time, I think you've also got to be confident you can actually run it back, and we can't at the moment. But if you're letting silly, cheap tries through, like
I thought Momorovsky, when who ran past him.
Thing is, he had defended really well up until that point.
He did, but
and then it just.
oh my God!
I couldn't be arsed learning any of their names last night.
No,
but they drifted.
Well, ran past him.
He drifted between him and Hanley, and then there was the one where he drifted between Gudemond. There was one that drifted through Gudemond and Lasone, and then there was another one in the second half, where the dummy half, and then another one. We keep conceding from dummy half, and then there was another one later on. They literally walked through 4 tries.
Even the Williams one, they had it centrally. Under the sticks, they went left.
Yeah, Duff. We didn't get hold of Duff, did we?
And then
came back.
They came back and don't want a hand on anyone. And then Williams got it and just went. Is no one tackling as he always does brilliantly?
Yeah,
runs to the line, hits the line, and scores. Done. Yeah, and there's no one near him.
Yeah,
I'm thinking, what the? I don't want to swear. What are the? Where's? Do you know? We said it again this year. Cammy, Catalan at home. And Brody, same game, when they flew out the line, they made the tackle, and we were all cooing, saying it was a game changer. I think the Brodie Croft one went up the other end of the field and scored.
Yeah.
Where's that urgency now?
It's hard to say, innit? It's just,
I just think moments like the Lasone or whoever O'Connor, that hit, defence can change games, but they just don't seem to.
And I think when you said were we out in Fuse last night, we absolutely were on both sides of the ball.
And that's a worry.
And you should never get out in Fuse at your home ground.
That's for any game, isn't it?
In any game in general.
As soon as you put that shirt on that Wilfred's wearing, you never ever should be out enthused. No. I'm really struggling with that word tonight. I don't know why. Matt Frawley's kick to Newman was a beautiful kick.
Very good.
On the money.
Beautiful banana kick.
Absolutely on the money.
Great try. Newman first try scorer. But you, Statman Rees, have uncovered something about Harry Newman.
I need to go into some more detail, but clearly I can't because I just deleted all my fucking stats. But I've got it's a gut instinct, but when Newman scores our first try...
Rees, I've told you 1,000 times, just say it's a fact.
That's true.
Everyone will believe you. No one's going to go, actually...
No, because there'll be someone that goes on the Super League match and goes, then I'll go, well, that's wrong because they're rubbish.
And I don't have the stats to back it up.
No. But yeah, every time Newman scores the first try, I'm pretty sure we lose. So I'm thinking Wigan, I'm not saying first try in the game, but our first try, we tend to lose. So the first one that reminds me of the Wigan game at the Challenge Cup last year at home. Obviously, there's a Saints one in the Challenge Cup this year. Obviously, last night he scored the first try. I think there's definitely other examples. And if there are more than 3, we might just need to have a bit of a Momorowski-Hanley arrangement with Newman and whoever is the winger.
Clearly Robert's all fussy too, Sam's just got to get closer to Harry so he can pass it on.
Because if that is a common theme, then clearly it's a voodoo that's going on.
And we have to win the game. Do you want to talk anything else about the game, or shall we move on to something else?
I'm assuming we've got something else to talk about.
Yeah. I think bigger matters after last night.
There's a massive elephant in the room.
I think Croft's kick for Roberts' try, and Roberts as well. That was well taken.
The Ginger Prince,
the Ginger Prince as well. Have you heard his song, by the way?
I haven't.
You don't. So it's
Here we go. Strap yourselves in.
Lewis Roberts. You're the love of my life. Lewis Roberts. I'd let you shag my wife. Lewis Roberts. I wish I was Ginger too.
Yeah, I love that.
Brilliant.
I was happy for him that he scored.
I think
he gets some unjustified.
He gets some stick, and he took that try really well. So again, credit where credit's due. We're not going to mention the referee because refereeing is as hard in Super League in general.
It is.
It's not the reason why we lost.
No. It never is the reason why.
No,
you lose a game. But there is an enormous elephant with a unicorn horn that's rainbow coloured and farting glitter in this room right now. Sam mentioned he who shall not be named for fear of the US Navy earlier. Rowan Smith. I've had loads of people, and I mean 8-9 people message me either on X or WhatsApp saying, you've got to be honest about Rowan. And I am honest about Rowan. It's just my opinion is clearly not what some people are happy with. I'll start. I said last year the Wakefield game was the time. I think we both agreed at that. When we lost to Wakefield, it was absolutely atrocious. Still is the worst result in Leeds Rhinos Super League history for me. I don't know if anyone agrees with that, but that's another whole podcast in itself, if you want to listen to that. And I said then, if the club have any qualms, any issues at all with Rowan Smith, sack him then. If they didn't sack him then, he's going to be here for next season. He has to be here for next season because we're going to have loads of new players in. That's happened. We've spent an absolute ton of money on Croft, etc. Everyone knows. This is Rowan Smith's squad. And I don't see how, if we do sack him, I don't want him sacked, but if the club were to sack him, who they'd bring in, can they get a tune out of it? Now, some people were saying to me, well, exactly what Sam said earlier. Agar went and new coach Smith came in and got us to a grand final, so there is that new coach bounce. But for me, he's here for the long run for this year, and he'll see the year out, I think, anyway. I'm going to go to Reece first, Sam, if you don't mind, because you have been a member of the church, the cult of Rowan, but last night you texted us saying you were wavering.
Yeah.
Are you still wavering, Mr. Statman Reece?
When I first said that last night, I thought that was just the raw emotion of walking out of that game.
And a few beers.
No, I only got driving last night.
Oh, right, sorry.
I had one. So I initially thought that was just the raw emotion of the defeat and everything else.
It does suck, yeah.
And then I woke up in the morning and went, yeah, no, I'm still turning. I'm still wavering.
So are you turning or have you turned? So if we were to, I'll ask Sam the same question. If we were to put it on a Rowan out, what we're called?
Scale.
The barometer, whatever it is. What percent are you? A good old lot pod poll here, live poll.
Hang on a minute. Are we assuming the larger the percentage is, the larger larger out? Okay.
Yeah. So the larger is out. We're agreed with that, right? So what's your percentage for Rowan out? No, sorry, I will get to you. I promise, Sam.
He's going to let me speak first because he just keeps asking me questions.
No, because it's developing. It's developing as I'm such a good host. It's just developing.
You're just bouncing off yourself at the moment.
What were you? Not last year because we were shit. Start of the year.
It was.
Were you 100% Rowan in? Were you 80%? What? Just to give us a bit of.
Oh, so I'm going to go with the percentage of Rowan out. I'd have been probably 15% Rowan out.
That gives us a marker now.
Yeah, and any cause of concern was there. Look, I wasn't happy with what I saw last year, but from what that percentage had gone down, because you've got to remember that was at the back of the last season when we got stuffed twice.
Yeah.
From there,
and we were really shit.
And it was dreadful. So, but that percentage had gone down over the off season because of the stuff we were hearing about how the squad cohesionness and also the signings that we made, which you have to probably guess that Rowan had some sort of influence in.
Yeah.
So that percentage went down for that exact reason. Now,
so you were 15%. Let's say start of the year. We're now 7 games in, and you are
62.7.
62.7.
That's still quite low, actually. I think
that's Rowan out.
Yeah, I think that's still quite low.
So that's jumped up quite significantly.
Yeah, I would say that's quite a significant jump.
So are you saying the squad's here, and this is on Rowan? The way we're playing, the result we've had.
My thought this morning was, and I've wrote this down here to make sure I remembered it, which was, if we're seeing the same issues as I saw last year, then it's not the players, it's the system.
Right.
And the coach sets the system.
Right.
And I think that's what's concerned me in what I've seen so far this year, is that are we any further forward? Yes, we are in squad. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the stat from Super League in terms of the spend of the salary cap or estimated spend.
I saw that, yeah.
And we are right up there in the salary cap. So, in reality, I know money doesn't always mean performance, but that expectation comes of it.
Absolutely.
When that money is spent.
Absolutely.
But if I look back and go, are we really any further forward than last year? We are marginally, because we're better positioned we were in the league than we were at this point last year, probably. But we should be flying far higher, I still think. I think, we talked about how great cohesion is, and yes, it's a new spine. We've had plenty of opportunity to start seeing those performances, and at the moment there are too many similarities of the things that concerned me last year that are not just saw last night. I think that more and more of them are creeping in, and I think this weekend off has come at a good time for Rowan, because if he's going to stop this Rowan out feeling from fans coming out, he needs to nip those things that are creeping back into the game and nip them in the bud, and move forward in the next 3 weeks in three very winnable and should be winnable games.
Yeah, we'll come to those.
So yeah, that's my general feeling at the moment. I mean, I've got the rating for Rowan for what people said.
Let me get Sam's.
Let's get
Sam's views. Check in with Sam, and then we'll come back to that. So last year, I'll ask you the same question, Sam.
Yep.
What was your percent for Rowan out last year?
At the end of last season?
Yeah.
Probably 80.
80?
I ended at 80.
Right.
And then after the signings we made and just general off-season positivity, because we haven't seen us play in a while, went down to 60. But I thought...
So we'll start with 60 then. We'll say that was start of the year.
Yeah.
What are you now?
95% out.
95% out?
I just don't think he's the right guy.
Right.
Not at all.
So are you now in... It should be gone, it should go. Well, you must be for 95%.
This sounds weird considering that I'm 95% out, but I don't care, because it's he's got the squad that he wants, he's got the backroom staff that he wants. Yeah. If he has the season, he has the season. It's probably fair to give him the season. If he goes, fine.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think he's the right guy.
Right.
So my main thing at the moment is I'm bored of him experimenting with all these different ways of doing things. Short kickoffs being one of them. And
we're doing medium kickoffs now, Sam. They're not short kickoffs, they're medium kickoffs.
Last night, that was a medium kickoff, can I sorry?
Yeah, I'm just bored of watching it. When he first came in after Agar had gone, we'd been that bad that sort of change and doing things this new way. It was like, we're onto something here. We've got a good one here.
We're going to win the
We got to a grand final. We thought we might actually be able to, at last build a team that's going to compete for things.
Yeah.
But quite quickly in 2023, it became clear that wasn't going to happen. We had a horrible season. It's happening again this season. It's, not much has changed. Well, not enough has changed anyway. And as you've just gone through, it's the same mistakes. It's the same things creeping back in. And I've had enough of it, to be honest. I watch it. Like last night, I actually spent a lot of the time after some of the short dropouts and just some of the daft mistakes we were making. People around me were just absolutely furious. I stood there laughing. I'm like, this is just what we do now.
This is Leeds Rhinos.
This is just us now.
I was one of those people at one point though, because we did remember the kick we actually caught, the medium kick-off we actually caught. I was screaming, bastard, why are you doing another shot? Oh, what's it?
Come on. Let's go, Leeds.
My dad was next to me, just fell over laughing, because I went from being irate to being, what a stroke of genius at that point.
That's absolutely perfect timing.
But I think, the whole shot kick-off thing, I mean, I've been a massive hater of that. And, last night, it just made no sense in the moments that we did it. Now, you could argue that's a player decision, and probably was a player decision at that moment in time, but it's also an instruction that's set on the team that is an option for us to do.
Yeah.
So, and I'm assuming I bloody hope they're practicing it if there's something that we do in the pitch. Obviously, clearly we're not doing it very well. But I think one of the big mistakes, again, that crept in, especially against Warrington, was I would call team management, i.e., that player's not available. Hanley, hopefully his injury's not as bad as it sounded, but it sounds like it could be a serious one. But shifting teams around to put round pegs in square holes.
That pissed me off, to be fair.
And you've brought a kid on the bench in Nen McCormack, and I understand he's a kid. It would have been his debut, and it'd have been a very big game at a tight moment, only 25, 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
To bring him on in that situation. I understand the hesitancy, but you surely have confidence in him because you've put him on the bench. Yeah, so instead of shifting around three positions, which ultimately you could argue contributed to sloppy defence in the middle, why not just plop him on the wing with Momorowski, who in general is a good defender, although last night he did make some mistakes, and just take the simple option. I thought the simple option was put McCormack on the wing. He's played there. He's actually played all right in the pre-season game against Hull KR when he was on the wing in that position, and it didn't mean you had to shuffle the whole pack around. So that was a mistake that happened a lot last year, was moving players around into different positions, which was just causing fluidity problems.
What did you make of that decision when he chose not to bring McCormack on and started shuffling the pack around again?
I didn't understand it.
No. I don't think anyone did.
I thought Lasone was coming on the wing at first, to be honest.
Well, sorry, because Lasone and McCormack were both warming up.
Was stripped.
So he was stripped to come on, but then he obviously, Rowan or whoever said, not yet, kid, go sit back down. What did you make of that?
You know, the initial thought is if you've got him ready to go on, and then just from his McCormack's perspective, and to say that,
it's this studio. For some reason, you just can't speak for some times.
What have I been struggling to say?
Can't remember.
I completely forgot.
Carry on listening to you.
Just what does that do to him though? If they've initially said to him, "You're going on," and then they've thought about it and gone, actually, sit back down. I think that's poor because you've got him ready to go, and then you're going, actually.
What's quite demoralising is that they replaced a winger with a prop, and although I did quite enjoy the prospect of Sam Lasone playing.
Yeah, I did. that Rowan, that I would have loved. I genuinely would have loved that. No, you're right though, because if McCormack comes on in that instance, his confidence, cover your ears, George, is fucking sky high.
Yeah.
And when you get a kid, any young academy player, when they get their first chance, they'll run through brick walls. They may make mistakes, but every player does, and especially the new. When they were warming up, me and my friend at the time saying, I'm actually really. I got a buzz about. I know awful seeing Ash go off, any player go off. He should have chucked him on.
Yeah,
should have just said, "There you go, kid." Smacked him on the ass and said, "Show us what you can do."
Yeah,
it's earlier than expected.
We were saying before that he got a really good reception when he came on, and the thing is, fans like seeing young players get a chance, and we all know that's his debut. If he has to play, what would it have been, about an hour? Something like that?
It'd been about 50 minutes, I reckon.
If he plays that game and it don't go well, people
gives a shit.
It happens. Yeah,
it's
a young kid.
It's not a free pass, but people would certainly treat you lightly if he dropped the ball because
absolutely,
because it's his debut as an 18-year-old.
Lewis Roberts kind of gets that treatment as well. He drops he's a bit of a target for high kicks into that corner. I know he did well at Cass, but he's dropped a few of them high kicks into the corner, and people go, but he's young and he's learning. He's done a solid job otherwise. So if McCormack does that, I think. They're probably more sympathetic towards him. It's just it happens, move on. You'll learn from it type thing.
And the biggest impact of that decision not to bring McCormack on was the fact that Lasone was gassed because he had to play far more minutes than he had to do. And ultimately, two the tries came from sloppy defence because Lasone was tired.
Yeah, I think that's to do with subs, having two subs in.
Yeah, but that's but if McCormack had come on, then you'd have been rotating Lasone less than what he would have been. He was on the pitch for a lot longer than he normally would have been.
Yeah.
And like you said, Lasone's greatest thing as a player is impact on the ball. When we've got the ball and when he carries the ball, it lifts headingly. You can feel it. But I don't want to feel like I'm really going in hard on Lasone in this podcast. Last night, he made mistakes, but he worked hard to try and rectify those, but there was desperation in that as well. But I think that was a victim of the fact that he had to play more than really Sam would normally play.
Yeah,
and that was an issue that came from making the wrong decision with that bench.
So we've no game next week.
Thank God.
Thank God for that.
So
everyone nods in agreement. Yeah, we don't need a game. Thank God for that. 2 weeks, near as damn it, to do for Rowan, for the coach himself, for the players to do something in training. What would you, Sam, like them to be doing? Is there something that you'd specifically like them to be working on, or to change? Whether it's players or squad, what would you like the Rhinos to be focusing on in these next 2 weeks?
Come up with a plan B.
Yeah, for when
it's teams have slowed us down as they always do. Have a plan B and
let's do something different.
Have that a structure to fall back on. You've got Brodie Croft; he can make things happen. For all he might,
Brodie Croft's got the most assists in Super League.
Yeah, exactly. And
even despite we're saying that we're not playing well, he's still got 9 assists in 7 games, which tops the charts in Super League at the moment.
Yeah.
So if we get a plan B that works,
he's full of quality and he will make things happen. And who knows, Matt Frawley even might make things happen in a structured system where It's not just throwing it around and hoping something comes off.
Would you like to see building more on the ball, more?
Yeah, it's
more involved.
When he's on the ball, he's like the kick through last night. He can do that. He can pick out the right pass. He's got that right foot step, which is been probably a little bit overused, as is the pass back inside, which seems to be the default move at the moment. So yeah, but getting Brodie Croft on the ball more is never going to be a bad thing, is it?
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt us.
More Croft, more Party. What about you, Reece, for the next 2 weeks? What do you want to see the Rhinos getting up to?
I think for me, it's that attack. Again, I genuinely think that I don't think defence is a massive problem. So if I look at the stats this year for how Rhinos are stacking up in the league, luckily I wrote these down before I deleted it all.
We know what Reece is doing for the next 2 weeks, don't we?
Yeah,
typing
all that back up. But yeah, if I look at in defence-wise, we're middle of the pack for points conceded per game. We're middle of the pack for tries conceded. Possession, we're 50-50. Middle of the pack for missed tackles. So I'm middle of the pack for completed sets and set completion. But there's quite a few of those that I think are defensive.
Yeah.
Middle of the pack, look, it's not the best, but I don't think that's our key problem. Our problem is when we've got the ball. We've got the 4th lowest points per game. We've got the 4th least...
Our problem is when we've got the ball.
Yep.
Carry on, sorry. That's just so wounding.
4th least tries per game. In fact, Wigan have scored double the amount of tries that we have. We've scored 27 tries this year. Wigan have scored 55, albeit they've played London for one game. So
they have played a game less, don't they?
But they have played a game less.
Oh my God!
Thanks, Sam. Sorry.
We had a tiny buzzer then.
Wire have also scored just about double the amount of tries that we have as well. Then, if I look at something else, second lowest play of the ball in the opposition 20. The only team that's worse than us, I think from memory, was London. But I can't. No, it was Hull. No, it was Hull.
It was Hull.
It was Hull.
Again, just say Hull, everyone will believe you.
Yeah. But yeah, I did say that figure was concerning me when we saw it once and we saw it twice, and now we've seen it's actually be getting worse.
It's a problem.
It's a massive problem. We're not getting in the right position at all. So
big worry.
That's a big issue. 3rd lowest post contact meters as well, and the 3rd worst error count. So whatever needs to happen in the next 2 weeks, it needs to focus on the ball.
Yeah.
When we've got the ball,
everything off the ball seems.
I don't think
it can be better.
I'm not going to say it's perfect. It can be better because, we're middle of the pack for those defensive
it's scoring
stats.
The attack,
but it's hands on the ball, but again, for me, that's consistent. Rowan Smith. Those figures there. If I looked at last year's, which I haven't deleted yet, but if I looked at last year's, I imagine that would be very similar.
It'd ring true. I want Matt Frawley to be working on his kicks to touch because he seems to kick it.
Sorry, cover your ears, Harry. I fucking hate the fact that we cannot kick for touch.
He just enjoys kicking it either 3 metres or -2 metres. Drives me.
Why can't we kick it 40 metre forward?
We definitely can. And if Frawley either, I don't know if it's a confidence thing, but
you said this, didn't he? It's because he missed his first touch at Salford, didn't he?
He did that first one.
I think that's a mental block for him. I think that's really scarred him. Missing that, and he knew that people in England didn't think much of him anyway because of his Huddersfield stint. And then
he missed his first kick.
His first kick, he's done that. And since then, he's just been, we were talking about it last time and earlier. His contributions, kicking in general play, they've gone down. I know it might be a tactic. It's not a particularly good tactic based on what we've seen. So, yeah, I think he's got a real mental block.
If it is a confidence issue with Matt, then they need to work with him this 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And build him back up, rebuild him, and just say, look, you can do it. Because he can definitely kick it further than he is.
5 metres.
Yeah, so if it's a confidence thing, Rowan, whoever, needs to put an arm around him and say, look, just concentrate on your own game, you can do it, and just fucking leather it. And if you fucking miss, at least you're trying to gain some decent
We're going to have to put an explicit warning on this pod, I think.
Yeah, at the start. We usually do that, don't we? It's, look, just cover your ears for the whole...
We might actually have to put it on Spotify, I think. There is an option saying explicit warning. I think we might have to.
For the whole pod. And line speed. Just get the line speed back. Running out the line.
So between us then...
12 hit men.
So between us, it's attack, defence, and kicking into touch. So
not a lot.
So for the next 2 weeks, we need to learn how to play rugby league.
Just work on rugby league.
Yeah, that's not a great statement for the state of affairs of Rowan's management, is it?
No, it isn't.
If we're saying that you need to work on rugby league,
just get better at rugby league in the next 2 weeks. So once the next 2 weeks are over, we've got Huddersfield at home, Hull away, and London at home. I'm looking at Reece to nod to tell me. We've got those next 3 games. Sam, what are your expectations for those 3 games, do you think?
At least 2 wins.
Is that the absolute must?
You got to beat Hull and
I think
London.
It's 3.
I would agree with Eddie. I think it's 3.
I think Huddersfield are a decent attacking side. That's the only thing I would say. And I think they've got Jake Connor, they've got Lolohea, who was crap for us, I know, but exactly the type of player that we just struggle to defend against.
Because we give them 15 hours to decide what to do on the ball. So.
Exactly. Maybe we'll work on that in these 2 weeks. Who knows? So maybe
it's another thing to add to the list.
Yeah.
You're getting all this down.
Yeah, Rowan.
Yeah, so I think they could be a tricky game. But the other
do you not agree that they're the sort of side that we need to be beating if we are a top 4 side?
I thought we should have been beating Warrington.
We should have been beating Warrington.
That's a whole other matter.
I agree with both of that, but I just don't think we're actually that good to just be going out there and winning these games.
He's not as deluded as me.
I thought we were going to win last night. I still did with 20 minutes to go, and we collapsed. And then just based on watching Huddersfield today, I know they're against Hull, but they played some good rugby and they scored some good tries. So I think
when I say we should be winning the next 3, it's not because I'm saying I reckon we will. It's my expectation that I think it's not an expectation.
As a Leeds fan,
it's a requirement for me. Though we have to win those 3 games.
So would you say these all 3 are must? Are we in must-win territory?
No, we're not in must-win territory because there's plenty of the season to be played. But I think a lot has to be said for atmosphere in Headingley, because if Rowan, we've got those 3 games and it's Catalan away. If Rowan's after those 4 games in the next, I can't win the game after that. But if that home game he's only won 1 out of those 4 games, then Headingley's going to be a place that is going to turn very, very quickly. As soon as we concede the first try at that game, it'll turn.
It's not
people walking out last night in 10 minutes. There's people shouting at Rowan last night in the stands and stuff. So it's there. So I'm not saying it's not. Is it must win? Arguably, you could say it is. I think they're very, very important because the grumbles are getting louder and louder each week. I mean, I've got the player rating for Rowan this week is extremely low.
We'll come to that in a moment, I promise.
So I don't think it's... I'm arguing myself whether it's must win or not, because I know Chris will be listening to this in the room now going, it's only 7 games in.
It is. And I think we'll win all these things. It's a completely different season.
And there's plenty of time left in the season. But the atmosphere at Headingley will be very quick to turn, or has already turned already, if we've only won 1 of those games.
That's not just on Rowan Smith either. That's
I think a lot of this has to come back to the players.
It's both.
Sorry, I mean as in the crowd haven't just turned on Rowan Smith. It's but you know what you were saying earlier about the big tackles, and it gets the crowd involved.
Yeah, pulls them in.
A lot of this season, the crowd aren't that bothered because they're not seeing that much.
Yeah.
And I think if you have 2 of them games at home, 2 of the games at home.
Yeah, 2 at home.
If we're poor in both of those, interest is going to carry on going down. The squad won't get the lift that they need because we're playing.
It was only 13,000 last night, wasn't it?
Which is the lowest. Say the crowd,
yeah, take out the Challenge Cup. That's the lowest home game so far this year.
Yeah.
And part of me is a bit selfish. I've paid quite a lot of money to go to Catalan. I want to go to Catalan with an expectation that the side are good.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put a good performance in, because if we're going out there we lose 60-0.
You'll have a good time regardless.
Oh, we'll be drunk, yeah. I might need to be.
Possibly. Drunk in the sun. But so the flip side of that is, win these 3 games, which I think we will, the season's saved, is it not? Are we not back on track? Are we not beyond where we should be?
No, because if another team beat Huddersfield, Hull and London, we're going, yeah, but they've played Huddersfield, Hull and London. And then, but the way we've been for years, even before Rowan Smith, especially since last grand final win, we will beat a couple of teams lower down the league. We come up against any kind of serious side,
like Wire.
Yeah.
And they're not serious.
Well, they did a job on us. They must be.
And we crumble. It's the same story. We'll beat a team lower down the league.
Are these three auditions? So have we got Catalan after that?
Catalan's the fourth game.
So beat these three, and then the Catalan. If we do, I think we will. As I keep saying, beat these three. The Catalan game's the one to kind of you're kind of saying
that's the test.
That's the game where we say, right, have we improved? Yeah. Are we? Going to be
that's the test,
contending and things.
It's even tougher with it being away, and you can lose at Catalan away any year.
Yeah, no matter what you fall.
So it's a bit of a tough. If it say like Wigan at home, then maybe you're thinking not that you should win it, but you should definitely give them a contest if you're going into it. 3 wins on the bounce and you're playing at home. But yeah, the Catalan's away will be tough. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It just seems that same cycle where we'll beat the teams that we should be beating, and then a player will do an interview.
Teams that we
player will do an interview in Yorkshire Evening Post saying, "Oh, this is how we've turned the corner," and then they just fall back to default.
But if we win those 3 games,
which we will,
we'll be 10 games, 7 wins, 3 losses. So
good start.
So I think if anything, yes, it's a good start. It is. So that makes things feel better and look better. But if anything, it's getting wins in the bag for if the form manages to turn around. And not just say form, but what we're seeing in the pitch and that ability and that structure and everything that we've talked about improving. If all that improves, at least we've got a platform there that's a good platform to start on with 7 wins out of 10. If you're going into that with 5 wins out of 10, you're already on the back foot.
Go on then. What was Rowan's rating from the player rating? Which
I think I told you both already. So did I tell you both already what it was?
No, you should have said that. I should have kept it as a surprise. No, you didn't tell us. What could it be?
1.4.
So it's gone down from what you told us earlier.
Yeah, actually has, yeah.
Well, you said 1.8.
No, it was 1.5. But do you remember why it was 1.5? Was because someone had filled in the form and put 10 for every player.
Yeah, me.
So I decided to get rid of that because that didn't feel...
Does my score just not count then?
Just did not feel a fair reflection of the... It was probably true talking Maverick, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, 1.4 for Owen, which...
Did you expect anything different, Sam? 1.4?
No, I gave him a 2. So
I gave him a 2.
I think I gave him a 9. No, that was always going to happen. Is it? I don't think he's going to go. What did you say?
1.4.
He's not going to get a lower score than that this year.
I wouldn't rule it out. I would not
rule it out.
Nah.
Wow.
Well, if you lose to London at home, which we've done before,
which we have 2016, I want to say
19.
Oh my god! Do you think he'll get a lower score than that this year? I don't think it's possible.
I don't think he will, but I think it's possible.
I think it's possible.
Really?
Whether he will or not, I don't know. But if I don't know, in my current mindset about the team. And obviously Leeds United lost as well today, which hasn't helped with my general feeling about sport.
The Warriors won.
Yeah, no,
we should just talk about them.
Yeah, we should have done. My mindset at the moment is that it could get worse, but it could also get better. But if it does get worse, then I can see that score going lower.
What's been his highest? Have you got that to hand?
I haven't deleted that actually. It would have been last week,
which was 7.
Just speak really slowly so I can fill.
Which was 7.6. Dead air there.
7.3. No.
So now if you're watching on YouTube, if you're saying car on Spotify, has it gone off?
It was 7.3 in round 3, so that's the game against Catalan.
Yeah, there would have been. Yeah.
What did he get last week?
He got 6.5 last week.
So fair. Scored most points we did all year, didn't we? 26 points.
That's tragic.
Had a scoreless first half.
It's tragic, but we'd still anyway. I think Rowan's going to do you both agree that he's going to behave if it's not the year? He's not getting sacked anytime soon. Do you agree with that?
Yeah,
Sam?
Regardless of whether I think he should be sacked or not.
You don't think he's going to be?
I don't think the club will do.
Right.
They've doubled down on the investment on him.
Yes, they'll probably double down on him.
They'll see the season out, and the other reason for that
we'll win the grand final. All this will be forgotten.
This isn't football. There aren't head coaches ready to step in at any point. And the gap between, you're very unlikely to see another head coach in Super League move to another head coach in Super League during the season. But people keep mentioning names like Paul Rowley. But
my God.
And I think Paul Rowley's done a fantastic job at Salford. But I think it's one of those.
Rowley.
If you give.
Are you a Rowley or a Rowley?
Oh, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
I'm a Rowley.
Rowley,
I think I'm a Rowley.
Anyway, if someone like that manages a budget on a really small. Paul. He manages a really small budget really well, but
they don't have a budget. That's what
exactly. But then you give them a bigger one or a bigger team, and they're not always successful. So
Paul Rowley be awful.
That I don't think there's any names in Super League that I'd go for. And then in the NRL, it's an assistant, isn't it? You're not going to get any. I just don't think there's anyone that's going to be able to step in straight away. And everyone says Danny Maggs, but he's about as unexperienced as they come in terms of their head coaching jobs that are out there.
How dare How dare many
And if he was going to come to Leeds, he'd have come to Leeds already.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all I'm saying is that I think that he'll stay because the general rugby league market is that if you change mid-season, it's very unlikely you're going to be able to have someone that will step in straight away of decent calibre, or you don't have an assistant coach that you believe in, and I don't think either our assistant coaches are capable of leading a Super League side.
So we're all in agreement Rowan's staying, quote unquote.
Yeah, regardless of what happens this season, I think he stays.
If you could see one person come into the club, whether it be an assistant coach, a attack coach, whoever, who, Sam, would you like to see?
I don't have a name for you. I don't know who can fix this, to be honest. Who can fix that attack?
I saw someone make a suggestion online, and I found it quite funny because it was more of from a funny perspective. But Carl Ablett, just so he could teach everyone how to be a bastard. And just to rough everyone up a bit and start being so honest and to start being a bit of a bastard on the pitch.
Yeah.
But obviously he's been out of the game, so yeah. Honestly, there isn't a name on the tip of my tongue I go, right, that person needs to come in as assistant, because I'm not sure who's available. Or
Leeds Rhinos, just go get someone.
I don't think that. In the current state of affairs,
just go say, right, he's whoever thingy, we want him.
Who would?
If we could do that, we wouldn't have Rowan Smith as an head coach, would we? Really? Because we could have just got a big.
I think we've lost a pull. Oh my God!
Well,
how far the mighty have fallen.
You've got to remember as well, the difference between Super League and NRL is different. You know, it's not like the days when we could go get.
You don't have to be NRL.
Go get Brian McLennan.
There's one at Cass. Just go get him. Just go get him.
Chris, insert a bell.
You need to ring the bell. Shall we move on to the player ratings?
Yeah, is that the Book of Rowan closed for the week?
The Book of Rowan is closed.
Okay, so that's it now. We've had our say on Rowan.
Yes. Leave your comments below if you agree or disagree. If you're on YouTube.
Yeah. Player ratings. As you can expect, this will be lower than normal.
Lowest of the low.
Again, just for Chris's sake, I will now say
I'm here anyway, so
too low, because Chris will normally, that's not what he does. I'll go through them. Miller 5, Roberts 4.4.
That's too low.
That's harsh on Roberts.
That's really harsh.
He got a try.
He scored. I thought he played quite well.
Newman 5.3, Momorowski 4.7.
Too low.
The harshest of them all, Hanley 4.8.
How long did he play?
25 minutes. He made 125 metres.
Yeah. That's
I wanted to give him.
never be the shout and everything else, but we has been.
Just use the comments below. So you. Free from me and it's gone forever. And I suggest everyone else does the same. Just let it go. That gap. Thousand subscribers, so please do kind of push and promote our channel anywhere you can, and please do rate us 5 stars on Spotify in particular, because it just bumps us up and gives us a extra jump up those podcast charts. Have a nice break, switch off.
We're not finishing the pod yet.
We aren't finishing the pod yet, but have a nice break, switch off from Leeds Rhinos, and Chris is going to be back in a second with his conundrum. Well, we're back with Chris's question time. GPT back up to give us some. Listening to this,
I think some might think it's a Salford shirt.
Yeah, they might.
It actually does look like Salford's away.
It's a bit Salford.
Salford looks like Dewsbury's.
Yes,
Sorry,
that's
you.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
To get that right.
Yeah.
So, how are you?
I'm all right.
What's your question this week, this month?
God, I'm glad you didn't ask me about last night. Right. Right. So this might be preferable for some people, right? So you wake up tomorrow morning, Leeds Rhinos doesn't exist.
Oh my God, what happened to my beautiful Rhinos?
They've gone. It never existed.
Oh my God.
I said brilliant. I can't have to forget about last
That's
night.
what I mean. Never existed. So it's a two-pronged question. Who do you think you would have supported?
Should they never existed?
Should Leeds never existed?
Mm-hmm.
And who would you want to support? So they're not the same thing. So
two separate things.
So based on maybe where you were born, where your parents or your family, so who do you think you would have supported? And if there was no Leeds Rhinos, who would you support?
If there was no Leeds Rhinos and they never existed, probably an Hunslet fan. I grew up around that area.
They'd probably be one of the top teams, wouldn't they?
They'd be Leeds. Is that how this thing works, Chris? Do you ever got the time conundrum and how these just simply not exist?
They would be the Leeds team, wouldn't
They'd be the Leeds team, but would they be as successful? My beautiful Hunslet.
Maybe even more.
I think that's how it works, right? And the whole...
I mean, maybe.
The butterfly effect, you remove one and the other blossoms.
Yeah, I didn't.
This just feels like the whole.
Deep.
Can you come back next week with a bit more flesh on the bone?
This feels like the whole Marvel What If TV series.
Yeah. What if Leeds didn't exist? Would Hunslet? Leave a comment below. Tell us.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, we're Marvel geeks.
So is that a Hunslet for you because
I grew
that
up
would
there.
be your? Because you grew up there.
Yeah, I grew up there. Spent all my childhood around those LS10 neck of the woods. There'd be people now screaming. No, there'd be no Hunslet fans listening to this, so we're all right.
There's only 4.
You're born south of the bloody river.
I'm assuming this is why you're wearing a Dewsbury shirt right now, Chris.
I really
for those listening on
I just wanted to just not mention it. Goodness me, what the bloody hell's got on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to explain?
Well, yeah, go on.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that was kind of what I was leading you to do, yeah.
I did support Dewsbury, and I still sort of do. Not badly, weirdly enough. I was born in Dewsbury, but I went to watch Dewsbury before I went to watch Leeds.
Right. Was it your dad who said you need to watch something? If I'm going to get you into rugby league, you need to watch something a little bit better than this.
Kind of, but he knew of some of the players.
He did.
So
Clang.
he took me along.
He did.
Said you better watching Leeds than Dewsbury. But I did still go watch Dewsbury. But
so you flip between both?
Yeah, but it's been me.
Mm.
It's all right. I think there'd have been two teams that I probably would have.
So the team that. Allegedly. That were Reese's words. Yeah. Chris.
With the City of Leeds.
Right.
So I'd probably go for Catalan. Because one, in the UK.
I did.
Stephen McMahon. I just don't like playing against him, so that's more that it's more that I credit his ability as a coach than I don't know it because it's always tough.
Because I love the stadium.
And your best mate's with Matt Shaw?
I'm best mates with Matt Shaw. And I love.
Did you ever go 2-3?
Did I?
Even before that.
as good when you come tell me after, we're getting good at this.
I believe